I think for starters, Keller offers a lot of different training things. And I think one thing I learned really early on was that the most powerful thing that Keller offer is like mindset training. Yes, there's some great models, like I love the eco model because I'm a numbers guy. Work out what do I need to do, break it down to bite-sized pieces, and your big goal all of a sudden becomes a lot smaller. Fantastic. From a perspective of, sort of lead generation and understanding, again, but more mindset, knowledge around the difference between prospecting and marketing, things like that. I think that's fundamentally key as well. I think a lot of people are used to just working in a marketing world where it's a case of let's just spend a load of money doing this and we'll attract people. Doesn't work like that. And actually, it's the time-based things which are cheap, which have the biggest impact, because all we ever want in life is time from each other. You ask your wife or your husband what they want from you, for Christmas, they'll be, I'd just love to spend more time with you, So I think all those things are really key. But the one thing that's had by far the biggest impact is 6 personal perspectives. I remember teaching that when I was employed in London, and I purposefully did it to under 18s because I felt like if you could get your mindset right like that from the very beginning, it could have an amazing impact on your life. And it's the one course that I would say to anyone, any age, anywhere, like do it, like genuinely do it, and do it once a year and do it with your team and everybody. And the E to P section, which is Entrepreneurial Through to Purposeful, was a real help to me, because all I've ever really done, and I think this is why you said earlier that I was probably a really good employee. I say yes and no. I think yes in the sense of I'm like hardworking and I'm driven and I'm not going to slack off. Probably not so much in a just go and do this, because everything would always be why. Why do we do that? Can we not do it better? Like, what's the purpose of us doing it? And always trying, and there's like, no, we don't want you to think about that stuff. Just go and do what we've asked you to do, which again, completely their prerogative, but it's just not how I work. So I'm used to being entrepreneurial, just going out there and being me and seeing what happens. And in my previous roles, I'd never really hit a glass ceiling before, because I don't think I was in an environment that nurtured me to kind of grow as a person. But realizing that everyone has a natural ceiling of talent, a ceiling of natural talent rather. And it doesn't matter. Some people's will be higher than others, So you might be more talented or intelligent, whatever. It doesn't matter. You will get there eventually. And it's knowing then how to break through that, because it is very frustrating. It's quite scary, if I'm being honest, when you're kind of hitting against that ceiling and going, like, crap, like, how do I get through this? Especially if you've never experienced it before. So knowing that that's coming made it less scary. But then realizing that the only way that you can break through being entrepreneurial, which is doing what comes natural to you, and becoming purposeful, is realizing that you're only at that ceiling because what you do naturally can't get you through it. So by default, you have to now do something that's unnatural to you. And the only way for you to know and learn something that's unnatural is for you to consult, coach, have mentorship. So you've got to look to other people for them who have sort of already achieved what you're looking to achieve, basically. And the beauty of that is that we aren't all sort of, the first people on Earth. We've not just been transported here. There has been many, many, many people before us. There have been many more successful people before us. We're not reinventing the wheel. We're not trying to do something for the first time. We're selling homes. We're building an estate agency business. So ultimately, there are loads of people that you can learn from. And so having that, I suppose, internal, I don't know if you want to call it a pride thing, but being able to have that in you where you can go, I don't know what to do now. Let me find someone that does. And then taking on board what they say, but then actually putting it into action. Because that's the difference, I think, for me, is the biggest difference between a high achiever and an achiever. I'm not going to say a low achiever, but even just an achiever, is the application of what they physically learn. Was it knowing for knowing's sake versus knowing for doing's sake, I think is what they refer to it as. And we're all guilty of it, that we all learn stuff and go, that's amazing, life, So it's actually being able to just stop, put a plan in place and move forward with it. And I promise you, even just that will get you further than you actually realise that it will.